Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back. We got treated to a Matthew Mercer announcement. You love to see it? Exactly. All right. Let's see here. How's it going, Dark Mage? You doing good? Oops. Not ready for a naked palette, yo. Yep, gotta prep the wet palette here. All right. Today, like I said yesterday, I'm gonna be working on finishing some models here. So, oops. We have our Kharadron Overlords. That's not the right head. Where's this head? Oh, here it is. Our Kharadron Overlord's code right, and then might be a bit ambitious, but looking to finish the Night Rampager as well. So we'll see how that goes. Doing good? Nice, that's good to hear. I'm doing all right. Can't complain too much. All right, let's get this guy going here. Phenomenal Warhammer story? All right, what happened? What happened? Set the scene, it was a 2v2 Chaos Space Marines, nice. Blood Angels and Space Wolves, ooh. Nice. Sounds like a good matchup. Brown. All right. So we've got our head here doing my pretty general recipe of Bugman's Glow, shading down with Doombull Brown, and highlighting up with Kislev Flesh. Fast forward, turn 3 of the game. Yo. Cool, cool. No! Yo. That's absolutely tragic. But probably lore accurate for what would actually happen if they went up against Abaddon. You know? I guess it depends on, you know, how many gifts he has at the time, but like, pretty much, right? Ten out of 10 for theatrics, 1 out of 10 for tactical thought, yeah. Yeah. My friend's Fulgur absolutely refused to die as well. That's awesome. No, it sounds like a great game. The Warhammer gods appreciate the speech, but the Dice gods did not. Yeah, facts. The Dice gods are a fickle thing. It's just the Harlequin's laughing god? Yeah. Nice, that's awesome. It sounds like a great time. All right. So we built up some nice skin tones on the guy here. Gonna come in, get a little bit of gray sear to the eyeballs. And only doing a pupil in one of the eyes here. Because he's got a big scar on the other. Whoa. Alright, looks like my corn red is officially dead. I'm pretty sure I have an extra, but hopefully I do. Alright, here we go. A fresh pot of corn red. Nice. You love to see it. Interestingly, a sneak peek into how they make corn red, I guess. Part of what was like left in that pot was a bunch of dried paint and this. So it seems like they add a good amount of purple to their recipe for corn red, which probably just helps boost the saturation a little bit. If I had to guess, I would guess it's a pretty good amount of like black and some other and a little bit of red and whatever, and then maybe they add some purple to like boost the saturation. But very interesting. Add a little bit of red to like the scars that he has on his head, the mouth, the cheeks a little bit. The ears. Alright, we'll call the skin done. How's the paint company coming along? Oh, yeah. Oh, it's coming along, for sure. Oh, man. It is interesting to think about, though, like, if you were in charge of creating, you know, miniatures and such, like, how would you do it? You know, as an avid hobbyist and gamer, what are the things that you value most in like your miniatures and in the games? Because there's a few different ways to like do things, right? You know, even Games Workshop has multiple different games, right? Like different settings, different sizes of play, skirmish games versus, you know, full tabletop war games versus fantasy versus sci-fi, you know. Larger scale models, smaller scale models. playing the best player in our group next week against his orcs. So my question is, do I buy 2 so I can run 3 against him? Yo, don't do him like that, bro. Yeah. All right, I think the head here is done. Beard and such complete. I think the biggest thing for me as a hobbyist is customization. I want to be able to make the model that I envision. Okay. So, I mean, recently I feel like Games Workshop has been in the mindset of giving, you know, more dynamic poses to the miniatures, but that often leads to less customization because it's harder to you know, it's harder to kit bash, it's harder to find parts that like work with that. What do you think about that? What do you think about that trade-off? All right, and he's done. I think they should dial back the sculpts, upgrades more accessible, and make the upgrades worth it. I kind of agree. I like upgrade sprues as an idea. And I think it would be really cool if you could like walk into a store, like a Games Workshop store, and you're like, okay, I want a Space Marine kit, and I want it to be Black Templar themed. And then the store employee like hands you a sprue that's like, this is the base Space Marine body parts, and then they hand you an upgrade sprue, and it's like, this is the arms, the heads, the backpacks that make them Black Templars. Because I feel like that way you have like a lot more customization, right? And you're not getting things like, and then you're not left with a bunch of stuff, like a bunch of generic shoulder pads, right? Like maybe they don't need to include generic shoulder pads in the base Space Marine kit, right? The sprue is just like a torso and like some legs, right? I like what they did with the recent like Terminator kits, where where like the shin and knee pads are a separate piece that you glue on. That's another thing that I feel like allows for a good amount of customization. If, you know, GW went down that route of creating custom like shin and knee pad armor for chapters. Transfers should be made to order for all GW sanctioned chapters. Yeah, I agree. Especially since transfers, I feel like, aren't that expensive to make. Right? Like, they're just stickers. I think it's ridiculous that if I want a bionic arm, I have to pay 40 pounds for a kit that comes with one. Yeah. Another thing that would be cool, if they did, was like, you know, like when you go to like a Lego store and they have like a wall of all the different pieces, and you can just like, grab a cup and you can fill up the cup, and then you pay, when you pay, it's like based on the weight of like how much stuff is in your cup. It'd be cool if GW stores had that kind of thing. Where they just have like boxes of bits and they just give you a cup, and the bits are like sorted by like arms, and like, you've never been to one? Wait, like you've never been to a Lego store? Or I'm confused. You like hate Legos, or you don't like fun, or what? Never been to a proper Lego store? Got it. Yeah, I mean, I recommend going, just because they're kind of fun. A lot of times they have like giant Lego statues. And yeah, like I said, they have like a giant wall of just a bunch of Lego bits. They also have like a station where it's just like a bunch of like people bits. So you can like customize your own Lego miniature like at the store, and then, you know, you buy it. And the rules are like, you get a head, a torso, you know, legs, and your mini can hold like 2 objects in his hands. And they just have like buckets with all the different bits that are sorted, and you can just sit there and build your own custom Lego mini. And it's just a set price for as long as you follow the rules of like what they have. Sold at third-party stores. Yeah, I see that. I mean, it's like Legos are sold in a lot of places. You don't always need to go to a specific Lego store. Makes sense. Makes sense. So I have to do a little bit of touch-ups on this guy first, which means I might not actually be able to finish this guy today, which is tragic. But yeah, when I was painting this guy before, I was handling the model too much and was starting to pull up some paint. So I came back in with some primer and like touched up some of the spots where I was rubbing away the paint, and then I put a coat of varnish over everything. So hopefully that kind of fixes things. Maybe I'm still living in the first world, Borden Marine world, but I do miss all the possibilities and poses. Yeah, there were a lot. Primaris will get there eventually. Yeah, hopefully. Some of the kits do have a pretty good amount of customization. Like the basic Intercessor kit has a pretty good amount of different bits and such. But I did want to try out Miniswap. I have heard a lot about Miniswap. I popped on it for a little bit and tried to find some stuff, but couldn't find what I was looking for, which was a little sad, but. Also, could just be that I'm not in the holy lands of Warhammer, so you know. I have significantly less options. Think about the financial crisis of living next to a place where you can get infinite Warlord Titans, yo. It would not be good for my financials, but mental health wise, things would be booming. The mini swap site is kind of a letdown. You couldn't find anything you wanted, or what? Literally filled with orgs. 3 bits listings on the whole site, yeah. It's kind of what I found too. So that I couldn't really find things that I wanted. And I get that it's like, it's still a very new site. But yeah, I'm just not sure if there's like enough, if there's enough on the site yet for it to be good. for 20 pounds on eBay last week. Oh, that sounds like a great deal. Yeah, I thought about buying some of the listings that I saw for like the Justiciar and like and stuff. Excuse me. Because there was a kind of a flood of listings for those models. When that one random GW boxed game came out. But I didn't really have a use for one at the time, so I didn't buy it. And like, while it was better than buying it straight from GW, it was still like really scalper prices and like nowhere near what it would be like to get the actual box. So but I want to replace the sword with a thunder hammer. That sounds awesome. That sounds like a great idea. Yeah, that box is really cool though. I mean, I do really like the design of like the Justiciar, the sword, or the blade guard, like ancient. It's a really, those are some really nice models there. Especially from like a hobby perspective. I was thinking of using the hammer from the Saturnine Praetor. Yo. I don't know if that scale would line up pretty well. That hammer is pretty huge. At the very least, though, it'd be pretty fun to see. Almost comically large. If I made my Justiciar wear Terminator armor just for the flex. Yo. That also sounds like it would be pretty epic. Stupid fat base getting in the way of my painting. Thing is, I don't really want to debase him because it took quite a bit to like actually get him on the base in the first place. I've been thinking about 11th edition a lot and what army I want to make out of the release box. Dorian theme, heresy theme. Paint them like Iron Warriors. That could be cool. I think it probably depends a lot on what comes in the 11th edition starter box. Like if it's heavy on like Vanguard vets and stuff, might not fit as well with like with your theme. Or do I just go with my better judgment and go Iron Hands? Yeah. Hey, what's up, Jam? How's it going? This looks sick. Thank you. I appreciate it. And I do apologize if if it's a little hard to see. I'm having to rotate the model quite a bit. Because this thing's enormous. But I'm kind of putting some finishing touches on the gold metallic. So yeah. Thanks for stopping by. Hey, thank you for the follow. I was kind of hoping on finishing this model today, but that might have been a bit ambitious. Now that I think about it. But that's okay, we're gonna try our best. I forgot how many steps I was putting into the gold metallic. Because let's see, I made a list of, let's see, where's my list? Here it is. So I have to, you know, weather and finish the gold. I have to paint his little tilt shield. The stakes on the carapace. And I have to do some weathering on the steel and copper parts. Which I was like, hey, that's just like 4 steps. But each one of those is broken down into like 4 or 5 sub-steps. Transfer the arrows, or is that freehand? That's freehand. Yeah, this took me forever. And actually, if you go through, I have a YouTube channel that I also stream to. And I kind of use that as like my VOD backlog. You can probably see, I believe I painted this on stream. So you might be able to go back and look at it. But it was essentially, I plotted out a bunch of dots. So like anywhere that the lines would change directions, I put a dot. And then I just kind of connected the dots. Yeah, took forever, took a really long time, but it turned out really nice, so... Pinterest is not good for my hobby, everything looks cool and I want it? Yeah. It do be like that, huh? But so this is the tilt shield here. This is a transfer that I painted on top of. Let me see if I actually have an extra. No, you can see where it was. But yeah, it was essentially just this, but black. So kind of put on the transfer and then, you know, painted some extra detailing on it to make it a little more exciting. That's something I do a pretty good amount. Adding a little extra detailing on top of the transfer. A lot easier than freehanding, for sure. Looks really cool, thank you. I also think it looks very cool, but I also spent like, you know, 100 hours on this guy so far, so I'm a bit biased. Alright. I think you spent 3 weeks on the War Dog as well. Yeah, I can go grab the War Dog. Let me see. Chaos Knights got some love in. They got a lot of love. Is this for a Knight's Army then? It is. I haven't played with the army yet. But I did go like really hard on the hobby for these guys. So yeah, this is my War Dog that I painted up, and actually I painted this guy up for like a painting competition. So, you know, the same kind of scheme where I went for like kind of like a Tzeentch colors ish. But yeah, the main kind of modifications to the model itself are like, you know, reposing a little bit so that he's kind of stepping on this ruined wall, and then adding this like power cable. Yeah, and then a lot of work painting and weathering. So yeah, they got a lot of love. I do think like reposing knights goes a long way, especially since like you don't have a lot of them in your army. So taking the time to like make them look unique is pretty awesome. I think. War Dog's got 5G fiber optic? Yeah, for real. Gives me an opportunity to add hazard stripes, and hazard stripes are required in some capacity on your knights. Them's just the rules. Actually, whenever you buy a knight kit, there's actually fine print that says when you paint this model, you must add hazard stripes. A lot of people don't know that. I'm doing a non-metallic metal Dark Angels army. Ooh, I'm getting a knight for it? Nice! You love to see it. What kind of knight are you looking to... Like, Questoris chassis, now I'm just totally blanking on all the other chassis types. There's the Dominus chassis. God, what's the Horus Heresy one? It's like the Cerastus. There we go. Oh man. I don't know why I struggled so much with Cerastus. Yep, there we go. Just need to stall long enough for someone in chat to help me out. Probably a Cerastus? Nice, that's awesome. I do like the Cerastus chassis a lot. I have one that I'm building up. Not quite ready though. I'm building an Atropos, whatever you call it. Yo, what's up, Wolf? How's it going? I went to Element Games with a Hecaton Land Fortress. Doesn't sound like it would work out, but it does. That sounds awesome. That's a wild kit bash. I'm here for it. All right, I think I'm gonna do one last thing on the gold here for the day. Martian Dwarf Knight is something I never knew I needed. Yeah, Max. So I've been kind of switching back and forth between highlighting and shading here. So now I'm kind of taking up a little bit of shading. some diluted Cygor Brown. Add some deeper shadows here. I'm going to get going, everybody. Yeah, have a great rest of your day, Dark Mage. Thanks for stopping by. And yeah, I'll see you next week. You have a demon ride the night like a cowboy on a horse? Yo. That does sound like it'd be pretty sick. I think I've seen something like that. I think it was also like a Chaos Knight Rampager. But it was like corn themed, and I think it had like a demon riding on top. Another thing that I've also seen pretty frequently is like a Nurgle themed night with a bunch of Nurglings on top. That's always really cool. Not really the same, but similar idea. Alright, I think I'm gonna leave the gold there for now. Did I use the airbrush for the blue? I did. I used the airbrush for the blue. And then, yeah, I did the freehand on top. And for the battle damage, I used a sponge. So, a few different tools. I think I've gotten the coolest proxies for Conrad and Sanguinius that exist. I'm guessing you're asking, does Sanguinius have a last name? Yeah, that's a good question. Because some of the Primarchs do have last names, and some don't. Which is a little interesting. Sanguinius, him. Exactly. Yep, that's his last name. Can't change it now. So I'm doing some weathering on the kind of the silver metallic. I'm doing that with like kind of like diluted down scrag brown. I already did like a kind of like an overall coat of Doombolt brown here. So now we're doing like a more some more reserved touches of scrag brown to add a little bit of variation and some extra depth to our rust. And I think I diluted the scrag brown down a little bit too much. His last name is Primarch of the Blood Angels. Yep. Wow. Cause like Horus doesn't have a last name either, right? Fulgrim. But like Lionel Johnson, like Rogel Dorn. I don't know, it's weird. I wonder how they decided which ones. Oh yeah, Lupercal. You're right. You're right. Does Fulgrim have one? I don't think so. But then again, I forgot about Lupercal, so, you know. Vulcan Smith. What a mouthful, yeah, facts. It's not an easy name to say. And I put this guy down for a little bit. And coming back to it, I forgot how much model there was. After this, I'm coming in with some Troll Slayer Orange, and the Troll Slayer Orange will be like a really reserved step. We're just taking like ever so little Troll Slayer Orange to put on various bits. I wonder, is the biggest ego in Warhammer? If I had to guess, Horus is a good, Emperor's Children, also a good one. Alright, let's see here. Troll Slayer orange. Give a little punch to the... The Legion, that is. Yeah, I mean, the Eldari in general, pretty big egos. You know, now talking about like outside the Imperium, right? Their egos are pretty big. An orc of some kind? You know, I don't know. Is it ego? With orcs? I feel like with orcs are a lot like they're a lot more straightforward. So I don't know if ego fits as well with orcs. But I could be wrong. Looking great on that rust. Now we're on to like the verdigris, which is rust on the copper. Looking fancy? Hell yeah. Alright, especially we got these nice copper pipes here. We already did Sotek green here. So now we're kind of like in the recesses and in some of the like larger bits of the Sotek green. We're just kind of adding little bits of the Temple Guard blue to like break it up. Look like there's some more bits of like more intense rust. And the last, are you get cleaner for those pipes? Yeah, fags. Sadly, the Chaos Knights, they don't have the AdMech there to oops. I know I said I can't forget about this tilt shield, but then immediately forgot about it. All good. Luckily, there's not a whole lot on there, so they don't have the AdMech to clean and repair their machines, so quite a bit of rust. This is Gauss Blaster green here, similar to the Troll Slayer orange. We're just looking to add like a little bit of punch to the verdigris. Tzeentch can just magic it away. Yeah, I guess so. If they wanted to. I think Tzeentch is just using their magic so that the rust doesn't affect the like the workings of the night, right? Instead of taking the two-step approach where they magic away the rust to make the machine work better, they just make the machine work better with their magic and just ignore the fact that it's rusting. That way I can do a cool rust effect on my minis. All right. I lied. Not the last step. Last step is I'm gonna come back in with the copper metallic and just add some shiny spots. So this way we're creating like lots of different points of interest on the pipes in two different ways. One with the rust, and two with the shiny metallic. And they're like contrasting each other because the rust has a more of a matte finish, which is very different from the shiny metallic paint. So we'll have parts of shiny metallic and then the muted kind of matte rust as well. To kind of come together for like a really interesting metallic. Yeah, hopefully you can kind of see the difference between the left side and the right side, with just adding a little bit of that copper metallic back. And then this is this color I'm adding now is like a white gold, so it's not quite silver, but it's pretty. It's like off silver. It's like off white metallic, kinda. As like a highlight on the copper. Is that Bob Ross? Cool story, Bob. Nice. I like that emote. Hey, what's up? Nice looking night? Hey, thank you. I appreciate it. What's up, Juru SC? Alright. So that was kind of like the finishing touches on the copper bits. Love the models, hate the monopose. Literally the one thing holding the models back. Yeah. I tend to repose my knights a little bit. It's not... This one I did put a pretty good amount of work into reposing. The leg to make it running, not too difficult. You kind of just destroy, because it has like a peg and slots joint for the leg and the hip. You kind of just cut off the peg, and then you can rotate the leg back. Not too bad. The tail though, I reposed the tail so that it was kind of turning in the same direction as the leg, and that I had to like cut each segment of the tail and like rotate the segments like a little bit at a time. That was a lot of work. I like how it turned out. Not sure it was like worth all the work that it took. But it's cool. And then there is a little bit of reposability in the arms. I will say, something I really liked about the Cerastus chassis is the Cerastus chassis is really, really nice for reposing. Like infinitely easier to repose the Cerastus chassis compared to the Questoris one. I'd say forget the tail, yeah. I mean, the Rampager isn't really even supposed to have the tail, but I feel like the tail is the most iconic part of the Chaos Knights Questoris chassis, so I didn't want to leave it off. I was like, I'm not leaving it off. I will say, not doing that again. If I get another one, if I get another Questoris chassis, I'm not reposting the tail again. That's not happening. That was a one-time deal. Whoops. Oh man. Stabbed my knight. Gotta scrape away a little bit of the paint so I can attach the tilt shield. Redoing the whips on the Abominants. Lost all motivation to follow through. Yeah, it's any amount of like reposing and work on like a night is just so much work just because of like how much model there is. Yeah, a lot of times I just step away from the project for a little bit. I can actually grab here in a sec my other projects that I'm working on right now for my knights that have kind of like been on hold. So I didn't quite have the motivation to keep doing them. Shift this guy to the side here. It's time for show and tell. So here's my Cerastus chassis. I'm currently building it as an Atropus. So some like pretty minor modifications, honestly. A lot to the weapons, because I felt like the weapons were a good place to like add extra chains and spikes and stuff to make it look chaosy. And then yeah, I had these as like free dangling chains. This was a little difficult to do, but I really like how it turned out. Like the chains, nice. Yeah, same. I think it turned out pretty well. And then this was the more difficult part, because the Cerastus kit comes with leg armor plates that have like the Eye of Horus on it, but they don't have shoulder pads that do. So I like scraped off the like fleur de lis and attached a flat Eye of Horus. I think this came with the like the Land Raider Proteus model. This bit that I like grafted onto the shoulder plates. To like match the leg plates and whatever. So yeah, nothing too crazy there, but just like a little bit of something to make it more chaosy. I'm building a StarCraft Zerful model, a promo release. Nice. Cloaked form, transparent plastic. Oh, that sounds both so difficult and like really cool at the same time. Even got a skull on the end there, lol, yeah. And then this is my other model here. And this guy is based off of the Forge World kit for the Night Despoiler. So, a few things. I had to like add the extra leg joint because Chaos Knights have the extra little leg joint there that like the other models do not. So I had to like print and add those. And then I'm like reposing the feet and yeah, reposing the Questoris chassis, not fun. So you can see like the mixture of green stuff and like milliput that I'm using to like fill in gaps and whatever. So this is a guy that I like spent a lot of work on and kind of put to the side for a bit to kind of chill out on for a sec. But yeah, those are my two other night projects at the moment. Best Kit Bash Demon Prince model, cut off the axe, Death Guard Terminator Plague Flail. That's awesome, yeah. Giant flaming flail instead of an axe or a sword. Sheesh. Yeah, that sounds epic. Hats off to you, I can't do multiple projects at once. I never return to it. Yeah. My thing is, I would rather put the project down and come back to it later when I have the motivation than like grind my way through it and have it not turn out as good as it could, you know? I need a timer to limit my seat time. I'll build for and create for hours if I don't. Yeah. I think that's why I kind of like streaming my hobby time, because it kind of gives me a set time and like day of the week to like do my hobby work. Yeah. So yeah, I get it. currently adding a little bit of the shiny metallic back to other parts of the copper. I was just focusing on the pipes for a sec. But I do think a little bit of the shiny copper metallic needs to make its way onto the rest of the copper components to give them a little more oomph. Nuts. I think the chaos symbol running from front to back. So indecisive about patterning those things. And call it a day. Yeah, I tend to give it a lot of thought as well. But when I give up, I tend to just go back to the first thing I thought of. And I picked this. This was the first thing I thought of because this is like the box art Rampager has a design like that. With the chaos symbol. So that's generally why I went with it. I was like, it looks good on the box art, so it should also look good on mine. Tends to be how I make decisions a lot. I need to have like a reference that I see. And if I can find a good reference photo, then I'll do it. Makes for less, I don't know, less original, less originality, but yeah, I can't sit around all day just thinking about what to put on the top carapace of my knight. I wish I could. That'd be fun, huh? Alright, I think I'm gonna call it here for the day. I'm running towards the end of my stream here. Yeah, just putting a lot of finishing touches on the model. Did some work on like shading and highlighting the gold trim, adding additional detail to the rust on the silver and copper metallics, and finally getting on this like little tilt shield. Probably have 9 Knight Army's worth of ideas, but not 9 worth of budget. Yeah, but don't we all, bro? Hey, thank you for the follow. Yeah, I think I'll be wrapping it up here for today. Thank you all for hanging out. I appreciate it. Thank you for the follows, Juru and Jam Tart. I appreciate it. Yeah, and I hope you all have a great rest of your day. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you next time. Bye!